They can't do no wrong, man. When you sprung, whether it's man or female, they can't do no wrong. All the red flags that you supposed to be seeing and taking note of, you don't care nothing about. Cause you sprung. They putting it on you. They look good. They love bombing you. You lost in the sauce. You don't know your left from your right from your left. You just think you in love. That's what you think. You in love. This is your one. This is your soulmate. Yeah, I'd have been there before. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Being sprung, is nothing wrong with being sprung, but you gotta learn from it because again, a lot of people have got themselves in terrible situations, man, because they didn't see the red flags. And in relationships, you know, is is more prevalent because again, you with somebody every single day, you start building a connection with them, y'all doing what y'all doing every day, pleasuring each other every day, every other day. It's hard not to feel sprung. It's hard not to feel like this person ain't just perfect for you, you know? It happens. And what you got to understand is like being sprung is dangerous. It can get you in some dangerous situations. In most cases, in a lot of cases, it can cost you your life because you're not seeing the warning signs that is trying to prevent you from going down this road with this person. You know, that's why I think it's good sometimes, man, to hold off on getting down with somebody in the bedroom because, you know, once you lay down with somebody and y'all become one in that moment and y'all are pleasing each other and y'all both are enjoying it, the dopamine rush is going to start hitting y'all. Y'all going to want to keep doing it over and over and y'all going to be hooked. So before you ever get with somebody, like I say, like you want to get to know them enough to where you feel like this is somebody that I would not mind to lay down with because I'm telling you, it's hard. It is so hard to stop messing with somebody that is sexually pleasing you. I mean, they could do everything under the sun wrong. They could be doing just anything you think of negative. They could be doing all of that. And you will disregard it because they good in bed. They make you feel good. I done been there. You know, I done been there. It's so hard to cut them off. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard because you just don't want to lose that. You know, and that's why it's important to have an abundance mindset when it comes to everything in life. Because if you lose something, you know you can get another one, or you know you can rebound. You know you can do that. You're not gonna be so hung up on that one person. So a lot of times, a lot of us be feeling like we found the unicorn. You know what I'm saying? And we feel like, I can't lose this person because I ain't gonna find nobody else like them. And that's the trap. And that's what creates that fantasy of just the person and just what y'all could be and what it is right now. And again, you get lost in the sauce. Your emotions start taking over. Your brain stop thinking. Your downstairs area start making decisions for you, and you officially sprung. You know, and like I say, like not only being sprung in those ways is bad, but when you think about it in the long term game, being sprung is going to lead to you eventually burning out because a lot of people stay in relationships because that's all they know. So it's been so many years they've been with somebody. They put up with so much bullshit with somebody that at that point they're used to it. Because again, they're hooked. They're spiritually hooked to this person. They have a soul tie that's turned to a regular cord to a metal chain. Like at that point, it's hard to break that kind of spiritual tie with somebody. So when they saw the warning signs at first, they didn't want to believe it, so they kept going down that road. And now at that point, they're ingrained in with this person. So now leaving this person is going to feel like almost impossible. So it's not even about the short term of just, oh, get out. This is a bad situation right now. No, it's going to be harder to get out the longer you stay with that person. You know, again, being sprung, there's negatives, but there's also positives. You know what I'm saying? You could be with somebody and be sprung, and that person could be a good person. That could be your one. You know, it go both sides. It's not just a negative to be sprung, but a lot of people, when they get sprung, they don't use their brain. They stop using their temple because it's about pleasure. It's about the physical attraction of the person. So a lot of times it's hard to decipher whether or not this is a good person or not when you're being emotionally triggered by all the good things this person is giving you. But again, you can be with somebody and be sprung, and they can actually be a good person. They can actually be a person that you can really build with. You know, but it's hard, you know, especially when you're young. When you're young, it's all about looks. It's all about sexual pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, a lot of people think that, oh, I found somebody because we look good and we good in the bedroom and we look cute together, so this is my one. But it's so many layers to a relationship that a lot of young people don't understand yet. The older you get, you start understanding it's about communication, it's about relatability, it's about how she grew up, how you grew up. You know, what is the dynamic of her family, your family? What are y'all's goals as a couple? What is y'all goals as individuals? Like, all those things matter in a relationship, but people don't really start diving into those layers until later in life. So being sprung is super easy when you're young because it's just it's the exterior, it's the pleasure that gets you, you know. But like I say, from my personal experience with being sprung, I mean, I've been sprung a lot of times, and I've had females sprung, and I can tell you, it go both ways, you know. Getting your phone blew up, calling you 30 times, coming up to your job, coming to your crib, you know, me going through a girl phone. And I tell you this, I went through a girl phone one time in my life, and I'll never do it again. Never go through a female phone. You gonna find out some shit you don't want to find out, bro. Do not go through a female's phone. I learned that real young. Don't go through a female's phone because, again, a lot of times you just don't know. And sometimes it's better for you not to know, because once you know, you ain't going to ever be able to unknow it. And every time you see her, you're going to think about what you saw on that phone. So just a little, you know, side note, never go through a female phone. I know sometimes we be wanting to see what she doing when we not around. We be a little insecure. We be, you know, I get it. I mean, we all, you know, as men, we understand. But shit. Any man that got a little experience know, hey man, don't go through a phone. Just let it be. Enjoy what it is right now. Because once you go through that phone and you see what you don't want to see in that phone, is over. It's wraps. Mentally, it's gone. But you know, back to the thing of being sprung, like I say, man, I've learned a lot from being sprung. I mean, I've had girls act crazy. I've had girls show up to my job. I've had girls blow my phone up. I didn't have girls want to fight me. I didn't have girls do all this in the name of being sprung off of me just putting it down good, and I'm giving them a lot of affection and attention. And at some point, I just decided to back off for whatever reason. Maybe I'm focusing on myself, or maybe, you know, I'm just not really ready for a relationship. And now it's a problem. And now they're fighting claw and teeth to get with me. And then it's, again, I've been in situations with females that I was the one that was overly sprung, and I'm like trying to, you know, be around her every day. I'm trying to see her every day. I'm trying to figure out who at the job working with her. I'm trying to figure out what time she get off. I'm trying to see who is this that follow her on Instagram, why he's sending you heart emojis. Who is this? I done been that dude too. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. I've been that dude too. I was overly sprung over a few females. But I learned something. When you sprung, you don't think. You're going off of just how you emotionally feel in that moment. And that can really jeopardize a lot of good things in your life, because a lot of people crash out just because they sprung. Being sprung has positives and negatives, but I'm saying the negatives outweigh the positives, because you're willing to disregard red flags, and you're willing to put yourself through more bullshit with somebody because of the superficial things about the person, the vanity things about the person. If you thought logical, you would know, okay, this ain't a good situation. I need to get about this because this can turn ugly. But when you sprung, you ain't thinking like that. So the point of this video is, man or female, be careful when you with somebody and you lay down with them. I recommend You hold off on getting down and get to know them as a person first, and spiritually connect with yourself and ask yourself, this is somebody that I want to be with. Because once I lay down with them and let's say it's good and everything's clicking on all cylinders, it's gonna be hard for you to cut them off. It's gonna be hard for you to disregard them, and more than likely, you're gonna put up with a lot of bullshit from this person because you're invested in them sexually. You're invested in them based off how they look and how they make you feel. And when you're invested, I don't care how much you want to act like, oh, that ain't gonna be me. It happens to the best of us. It's hard. It's not easy to do. So just be careful out here, man. I'm gone, man. Peace.